Hello vinyl community, it's Mike, PC31, the vinyl policeman, back with you. It's a lovely sunny Saturday afternoon in the UK. My beloved Pompey, Portsmouth Football Club are not playing today, so I thought I'd do a contest entry, which I've been meaning to do for a few days now. This is for Jason, this is for Low Noise Jason Skilz. This is where Jason smashed through the 500 barrier, fantastic. He's now, I just checked it out, he's on 542 and he's been in the community for 1.5 years, so he's done it really good there. Jason's competition that he's put up, which ends on the 31st of March, is to name 5 genres, the five genre contest, and to show an artist or an album from 5 genres. Had a quick read of a few things, and I think there are about 41 recognised genres, lead genres, and obviously hundreds and hundreds of subgenres, so there's so much to choose from, and this is quite difficult to pick which one to go for, which 5 to go for, but I think I've got 5 good ones and some great albums to show you. Just before I do that, just want to do a very quick vinyl community shout out to Embryonic Robot Brian. Fantastic channel, always shows really good, interesting things. He's introduced a few artists to me which I didn't know about before, so a really good channel, so I recommend subscribing to Brian's channel. Embryonic Robot, make a note folks. So the first one I wanted to have a look at was heavy metal, and for that, which comes from that set there, the 10-Year War box set of Black Sabbath, an absolutely fantastic box set. I'm so pleased I got it. It's my favourite Sabbath album, which I just can't say enough great things about this album. It is just so brilliant. Sabotage. I know probably it's not everybody's favourite Sabbath album, but it's mine by quite a long way, and I've been with this album from way back in the 70s. And 1975 album, Sabbath 6, and it's one which they recorded when they're in the middle of lots and lots of legal battles, and Sabotage, the actual title, comes from the fact that they felt they were being sabotaged at the time by the legal world and management, etc. Bill Ward said that it was the only album we can recall where there were actual legal representatives, lawyers in the studio while they were recording it, and Ozzy Osbourne said that they were being served writs as they were sitting around the mixing desk mixing the album. So, but this album, it's just so fantastic. I mean, opens up with Hole in the Sky. What an opener for an album. I mean, just a sublime riff. The intermittent between a lot of these tracks, you've got Tony Iommi on the acoustic guitar, some great tracks there. Symptom of the Universe, some people consider the first thrash metal track ever written. Superb. Megalomania, Thrill of It All, Superstars, Am I Going Insane? The Writ. The Writ was the first time that Ozzy had actually written lyrics, and again, it was all about what was going on with the legal battles at the time. But I just can't say enough great things about this album. I've got several copies of it. I've got a Russian copy of it, dirty word, but I've got a copy in the 10-Year War box, and actually I just want to show you that folks, because this is also something of beauty and something which really turns me on more than it should. Look at that. The Sabotage vinyl from, whoops, we're all safe. The vinyl from the 10-Year War box set. It landed safely. Let's put that away quick. So, first one, heavy metal genre, Black Sabbath. My second one is I wanted to choose a punk record, because punk means an awful lot to me. Used to play in a lot of punk bands back in the day, and so many great punk albums to choose from. I mean, Nevermind the Bollocks is the obvious one for me. I mean, the Ramones, the Damned's first album on Stiff, fantastic. But the one for me which is the absolute epitome of raw punk, no production on it at all, raw, fantastic, is The Clash's debut album from 1977, and April 1977. Just such a fantastic punk album. I mean, the producer on this, it's actually credited as Mickey Foot, but that's Mickey Foot himself, who was a sound man for The Clash at the time. he knew nothing about studios, and he went in and basically left it to the actual engineer who was in there at the time. There were so many arguments during this. Joe Strummer and Mick Jones started to fall out. Bernie Rhodes, the manager, thrown out the studio. They wouldn't let any of the record company executives anywhere near the studio, and you can really hear it in the tracks. I mean, it's just not produced. It's just raw punk as it should be. And as I say, never mind the bollocks. Just fantastic album. I've nothing said against it, but Chris Thomas, who produced it, really produced it. He did such a good job, and the songs are so strong. Whereas this, the songs are strong, but it's just raw punk. And Sandy Perman, who would go on to produce the Clash's next album, Give Enough Rope. Again, the next album is produced. Brilliant album, I love it. But this is raw punk. You've got great tracks on this, which are real inner London tracks, you know, Career Opportunities, Garageland, Janie Jones, who was a brothel queen at the time, White Riot, London's Burning. Things which were kind of really relevant at the time in inner London, so the Clash really captured all of those things. When they finished it, where the tracks are quite short, it only came to about 30 minutes, and CBS wanted a 40-minute, 35-minute, 40-minute album, which is standard, and so they did play Police and Thieves, the Jamaican reggae tune, just to bump up the time, and that was one which they used to perform on stage quite a lot. But fantastic punk album. Really good, from 1977, The Clash. This is the UK version. I'd love to get the US one actually, because the US one in many respects has got even better tracks on it. I mean, I made a quick note of it. I Fought the Law, White Man and Hammersmith Palais, Clash Chili Rockers, Complete Control, which don't appear on this one. And I must get a copy of that, because that sounds a really good mix of album tracks. The Clash from 1977, Punk. My third one, which is playing now in the background, is a post-punk record, and one of my favourite bands from the 80s, one of my favourite post-punk bands. Band from Sheffield, so underrated, the Comsat Angels. I think Rob Walker's a big fan of these as well. This is their second album, Sleep No More. It's a masterpiece. It's just such a great album. When you listen to that track, Darkest Parade, just fantastic track. 1981, August 81, Polydor, sandwiched between two other great records, Waiting for a Miracle in 80 and Fiction in 82. But for me, I think this one just about edges it. Sleep No More. And apparently this, the band, not only this album, heavily influenced U2, but I think much better. Sleep No More on Polydor, post-punk. Now going to look at the next one, which is actually Brian, the embryonic robot, put Gothic Rock in his 5 genre selection, so I thought I would as well. He chose Bauhaus, which is a great album, but I'm showing The Cure's Pornography. So May 1982, 4th album from The Cure, and this is when they were going through a run of really dark, gloomy records, starting off with 17 Seconds, then Faith, and this is the third one in that kind of genre, Pornography. Just classic goth. Somebody called it Phil Spector in Hell, the sound. But it was a very druggy album. Lots and lots of alcohol consumed at the time when they recorded it. But a great Gothic Rock album. That's probably my favourite Cure album, along with Disintegration. And my final one of the 5 for Jason's contest to celebrate his 500 is, I would call it a shoegaze album. The Cocteau Twins, Garlands, their debut album from 1982 on 4AD. This is a really good album. The Cocteau Twins get better with Victoria Land, Treasure, Heaven or Las Vegas, Head Over Heels. I think the album's got much stronger, but you can see where they're going with this one. Some people call this dark post-punk, but for me it kind of ticks all the shoegaze boxes. Also been called Gothic Rock as well. But lead singer Elizabeth Fraser, she was a big fan of Susie, and some people say this is a very Susie-like album. I don't think it necessarily is, but it's a very, very good one. Reached number 5 in the UK. Okay, congratulations to Jason on smashing the 500 mark, and let's hope he gets to the big 1,000 fairly soon. Okay, till the next time, folks.